How would you like to reduce your aches, pains, and dependence on medication? So who is this information for? It's going to be for anyone who has a health condition lasting longer than 3 months and you're currently depending on medication to manage your symptoms. You may be somebody who is looking to get away from that idea that, hey, I got to take a supplement or a pill or medication to heal something in my body. Or if you're simply managing whatever you're going through with supplements, medication, or therapies. So does any of this sound like you? You know, you may notice looking at and living with your condition that you find it's a really isolating, alone experience. Like nobody gets it. You feel like you have to be secluded. You know, you might feel a lot of discomfort, and that's what keeps you locked into your house or your room. Oftentimes it affects relationships, whether it's coworkers or family members, significant others. Those small yet important things in life, like, you know, going out to eat or being able to, play a board game at the kitchen table without being in pain. We know it affects a lot of people physically, and eventually that leads to it affecting us mentally. And then sometimes people don't really believe us that our condition is that bad. You know, I've experienced this myself where, other people can't see pain, burning, vertigo, nausea, muscle weakness, fatigue, etc. But does that make it any less debilitating? So, you may notice nobody sees you on your bad days because the only time you leave the house is on your good days. Now, everybody's not that bad. Some people, they will just have their energy levels decreased. Somebody described it this way. I feel like I'm around 50% halfway through the day, and then all of a sudden, my energy levels go down to 1%, and I don't even have the energy to eat what I just cooked or to get dressed and I just got out the shower. And even described the lead weight of depressive type of symptoms that some people feel over their self and their life. So that's not even to mention the financial burden that chasing all of these things and going to all these doctor's appointments and doing all these different things, it adds up. And that's okay if we're getting relief, if we're making change, if we're healing. Because oftentimes when people come to see me, they say, it feels like there's less things I can do. As my condition gets worse and worse, it feels like I'm in a box that gets smaller and smaller. I have less money, less energy, less things I can do. I have less hope. And that's something we can't let happen. So there's two models. There's the what's new model. This is constantly searching for the next drug, supplement, technology, surgery. But then there's another model. And this is the one that I use. This is the highly successful, more cost-effective, what's proven model. So let's first look at the what's new model. Now, we're constantly releasing new therapies, new supplements, pills, etc. But what I can tell you is the U.S. conservatively uses at least 80% of the medication in the world, and we have one of the least effective healthcare models. We're most expensive, least effective. How about that? And we're noticing not only in the end of life situations, where just because someone's old doesn't mean we have to have disease. And yet those two things are synonymous together in the U.S. We know that our life expectation has actually gone down in the last few years, and obesity and cancer rates are absolutely skyrocketing, and we have to find out why. So what's going on here? Well, the powers that be have been quoted, check this out if you don't believe me, curing disease, is that a sustainable business model? So right there we can see where their mindset's at, what they're really focusing on. Because if they can keep us on these medications long term, that lines their pockets now, doesn't it? Oftentimes they're focusing on the symptoms, but not the cause of the symptoms. Pain pills are great, blood pressure medications are great, but only in the short term. We can't rely on those for long term. We have to find out what's going in your body so that we can delete it, get rid of it, put this issue to bed, and be done with it. And next is the idea that what you have runs in your family. It's genetic. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to get it whether you like it or not. That is, by and large, a very, very false thing. There is some truth to that in some conditions, in some situations, but by and large, that's not probably going to apply to you too much. So I want to be real clear. I love, love, love my medical doctor friends. I refer out to them all the time. They're amazing people. So it's not them. It's not them. It's above them. It's the legislation, it's big pharma, etc. but the medical doctors, they have the best interests of the patients in mind, and I love it. So this model is really good for crisis care. If you're bleeding, if you need stitches, you're in the right place. Don't come to my office, please. I'm a chiropractor. That's not my thing. But if you're not bleeding and don't need stitches, I can probably help. So when you do move to the proven model, you're going to notice that you don't have to chase all these fads and these gadgets around. You don't have to feel so isolated and alone because your condition is getting worse and worse and worse. You can actually do the things that are important to you, and you can actually be a productive member of society and accomplish the things that you want to get done. You know, you can finally get your entire to-do list done rather than just that one thing for the day. Some people, initially when they see me and I'll ask, hey, how you doing? They say, Doc, I'm doing okay. But at the end of care, we're going to say, you know what, doctor, actually I'm doing great. And I love to see that transition. I love it. You know, overall, what this model is going to get us is it's going to give you more freedom. It's going to save more money, and we're going to get you back to your old self again, happy, energetic, and passionate and motivated. So my name is Dr. Michael Hecker. I'm a Doctor of Chiropractic and a Wellness Consultant. This is going to be a little bit later on, but I am advanced certified in the Zone Chiropractic Technique. I'm certified in nutritional counseling. And as a fun note, back in 2017, I was on the Professional Golf Association's wellness team as their acting chiropractor at the U.S. Open at Erin Hills. And it's important to note that I'm actively being mentored by some of the best in the business, and that'll be real relevant later on. So as a reminder, my focus is helping people with health conditions longer than 3 months, and to help you decrease your dependency on that medication and, of course, decreasing your symptoms. So 2 things that I've learned. Number 1, only one thing matters, is results. If you're coming to my office, I only care about one thing, is getting your results. If I don't think I can get you results, I will not accept you as a patient. And second is trust but verify. So let's look at that right now. We have Sharon here. She came in with low energy, poor range of motion, low back pain. After a series of adjustments, we got her feeling more in tune with her body. In her words, she said, I feel healthier, my range of motion is greater, I can walk farther, my flexibility is doing better. Guys, as a side note, you can find my YouTube channel and listen to all of these different testimonials. Just search me up, Dr. Michael Hecker, DC, as in Doctor of Chiropractic. Just check that right out on YouTube. Next, we have Kristen. She previously had a bulged disc, and she was getting ready for pregnancy, and she was fearful that the labor was going to throw out her back. So she initially came to me with a lot of nerve pain, tightness in her back and shoulders, sciatic pain. After a series of adjustments, we completely removed all of the pain. Her flexibility increased, and the labor went great. Next is Paul Mary. Comes in with bone pain, stiff neck, pressure in her head. Series of treatments, no more bone pain. She's able to concentrate, or in her language, contemplate, twice as long. She has no pressure in her head, and again, increased neck flexibility. Sharon P. She had numbness and tingling going all the way down her arm. And before she met me, she was going to the medical doctors. They couldn't find anything. Just gave her pain pills. Went to the ER, couldn't find anything. Just gave her pain pills. Got an MRI done, couldn't find anything. Just recommended a cortisone shot. After only 9 visits, completely pain-free. That was probably around 6 months ago. She is still pain-free. So how do you get these results? Well, to answer that, I want us to look at a juxtaposition. If you're driving on this cliff and you don't see the signs, you don't see the fence, and you drive over the cliff, you land on the bottom, now we got a problem. You want the medical community there because they're phenomenal with crisis care. But I want to be that chiropractor up top. I want to be that fence, that sign saying, danger ahead, please turn around, because if you don't change course, you're going to have some problems. So the major premise is that disease and discomforts in your body, with a couple exceptions, have 3 potential causes. Number 1 is going to be trauma. Number 2 is stress. Number 3 is toxins. One or a combination of these 3 will put your body out of balance, and when your body's out of balance, disease ensues. So first is going to be this physical stress. Slips, falls, car accidents, poor posture, sitting too long. You know, the physical side of life. Next is that emotional stress. Everybody's got normal day-to-day stress, of course. But I'm talking about these stronger emotional situations or these consistent things that really eat away at you. And now, it's not real clear for everybody why does or how can emotions physically affect me? Well, with every emotion, period, every motion that will affect blood flow, that will affect the hormone levels and production in the body, that will affect the muscle tension throughout your entire body. And you may have heard of something called the fight or flight mode or sympathetic dominant state. These emotions will put you there, and you do not want to be in there long term. Next is going to be toxins, or what I call dietary stress. It's really anything that we expose our body to, but I know this is I can't affect air quality, but I can affect what I put in my mouth. So what can you do about it? Well, there are 4 physical laws of health, and to the degree that we follow these 4 laws is to that degree how healthy you will be. So I'm just going to hit on some highlights. We'll go into this way more in depth later on. So first is going to be the law of nourishment, making sure we feed your body with the proper nutrition and minerals, while at the same time avoiding foods that cause a lot of inflammation. The law of movement talks about if you have a joint in your body, we got to move it. That's how it stays healthy. I'm talking about neck, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees, ankles, etc. Law of recuperation. This is going to be rest, recovery, and recreation. And then sanitation. So this is making sure the inside and outside of your body is clean and healthy so the body can function properly. So the takeaway, and I want you to take this away, is before you go do anything, spend money on anything, did you clean up your diet? Are you moving your body? Are you recovering and resting? Are you eliminating these toxins? We want to start there. Because when we do follow these laws, we get some great results. Here we have Katie. She had digestive issues, neck pain, jaw pain, low back pain. We treated her physically with the adjustments, but we also addressed some emotional stresses. And after, we got her happier, pain-free, stress-free, eating better. You can read. So I'll let you read that. But what pill can give you that? I don't know what it is, but if I would find it, I would take it myself. Next, we have Brett. He came with a car accident. He had pain all over his body, and he was currently seeing a physical therapist, but for him, it just wasn't working out. After a series of treatments, we got his sinuses better. We taught him how to eat because some of his issues were coming from that, and he was breathing easier and completely pain-free. Next, we got Jesse, real active guy and a driver for a living. He comes in with sciatic pain going down his leg. And also, as I was questioning him, I found out that he tends to get knee injuries and ankle injuries. After a series of adjustments, he is completely pain-free, and his knees and ankles are strong and stable, and he's had no issues since. And then last but not least is, what do I physically do? Well, I do the Zone Chiropractic technique. And with this technique, we understand the body is broken up into 6 systems. And in these 6 systems is going to be the entire body. Every cell, tissue, organ, gland in your body, everything. And so we can determine which system or systems is out. Then using a spinal cord stimulation method, using a chiropractic adjustment, we can actually reset that part of the brain so the brain can start governing those systems and organs properly. So now, there's an assumption most chiropractors make that I don't. How do I know that the brain is sending the proper messages to the body? We don't know that, do we? So, permit me an analogy. Here we have a fuse box. This limits or regulates the amount of electricity going into the house and then being distributed throughout the entire house. So imagine the kitchen. One switch controls all the electricity going to the kitchen. So the fuse flips, electricity cuts out. So now your fridge stops working, your microwave stops working, your light bulb stops working. So logically, would you say, oh, you know what, I gotta replace the light bulb, throw away the microwave, and get a new fridge? No, that'd be silly. Just flip that switch so the electricity can start flowing into those areas. The body works in a very similar manner. Using these 6 systems, these are like these fuse switches. We can stimulate 4 very specific points in the spinal cord, which is going to send that information back up to the brain, help reset it, and now the brain can control all of the organs inside that body, or inside that system. So system number 1 is the glandular system, all the glands and hormones in the body. We have the eliminative system. This is what gets all the poisons and toxins out. We have the nerve health zone. It's going to be the health of the brain, spinal cord, and all the nerves. We have the digestive zone, the muscle zone, and then the circulatory zone. This is going to be the heart, lymph, blood vessels such as the arteries and veins. So looking big picture, what I call the Zen formula, Z-E-N, We're going to look at the zone technique that's going to handle that physical stress. We have an emotion code and many other ways to manage that emotional stress. And then we have nutritional advice, whether it's detoxes, just teaching you how to eat. If you need some meal ideas, we do all of that. So big picture, how do you get healthy? Get these zones balanced. How do you stay healthy? Adhere to these 4 laws of physical health and limit your exposure to the 3 causes of disease and discomfort. And overall, I want to say there is an easier way with a couple small, simple habits of your day-to-day life using a proven system, and then somebody like me who does this every single day. So you got 2 options. Number 1, take this information. Please do, by the way, and try to apply it. Do the best you can. Now, a lot of people, 99% of people, are going to fall back into old patterns. And so a lot of those people do need some help and assistance. And that's where number 2 comes in, is you may want to rely on me to apply this proven system so you can get better, feeling faster, as quickly as possible, yeah? So if you want to work with me, here's what you can expect. At every visit, you're going to receive an adjustment to balance out the zone that needs the attention. In addition to that, depending on what's going on for you, we will give you a couple different things, maybe a detox, maybe we'll teach you what kind of foods to eat and avoid, stretching, etc. So a couple bonuses, because I like you guys. I wanted to give access to my inner vault. So this is going to be free for all my active clients. And there's going to be a bunch of different videos so that you can listen to these at home and then apply it on your own. Also, you're going to get access to my number 1 favorite book on health, period. And you're going to get it at my cost. I'm not a bookseller, so I don't want to make any money on it. But just know you're going to be able to save $55 off of it. And the book is super, super phenomenal for getting us not only physically healthier, but emotionally healthier. Because emotions are kind of funny. It's hard. Like, if I would say fix your emotions, what would you do? This book is a really, really great step forward. So here's a snapshot of what my inner... this inner vault of my videos, and I'm constantly adding more and more to these whenever I can. And next, here's a picture of the book, The Rays of the Dawn book. If you'd want to get it yourself, be my guest right now on Amazon at $64. I only charge you $15 because that's what I pay. So if it sounds like you would benefit from getting some of my help, if you want some help reducing aches and pains, reducing your need for medication, then I've set aside some time to talk to you guys. We'll have a 10 to 15 minute discovery call. And on this call, we just want to make sure before you come in, before you spend that time and energy coming in, let's talk about your symptoms. Let's answer any questions. And overall, let's find out, are we a good fit? So if you're ready, please click the button below that says apply now, and we'll schedule that discovery call. Thank you.